All right, here we are, another sub CLE. I know I say this all the time. I'm really excited about this one. Aaron Dallison is here, and I remember going to when I was a wee lad, maybe 15 years of age. I think we stole my mom's car and would drive out to Flashes. And
oh shit,
yeah, and we'd do musicians night. We'd have to wait and whatever. And then I just remember going to see in an Environmental Hazard, Hatrix, Spud Monsters, bands like that. And in the mix there was always Escalation Anger.
I think we might have stole your mom's car for one of those gigs.
So
yeah, that's a long time ago.
Aaron Dallison, man, it's good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, tell me about that. What was it? Well, first of all, I should say we just had some chicken wings, and
oh yes.
So I gotta try and feed the guests here.
Very excellent chicken wings that Vince prepared here.
Yeah, baked in the oven, then air fried, and used some of my homemade hot sauce.
So if it seems like I'm in a little coma, it is definitely not drug induced. It's wing induced.
Nice, but yeah, going back to Flashes. I mean, because I remember we would just do musicians night. We weren't cool enough to actually have our own show, like some people in this room, and what was that all about? Tell me about that experience, because you're from Lakewood, or
oh no, you didn't do your research.
I did a little bit. I have your bands. Wait, I do want to show that I did do a little bit of research, because this guy's been in a few bands. First of all, we have Axioma, Escalation Anger, Keelhaul, Perdition, Sect, the Not So Good Old Boys, Abdullah, Holy Ghost, Ringworm, State of Conviction, and We Live by Night. I'm sure I missed a bunch.
That's pretty good. That I can remember, you might have missed one, but I would have to go through the timeline to figure that out, and there might even be some that I forgot.
Okay, well, let's start at the beginning then. Let's start at was Escalation Anger the first one or no?
In Cleveland, yes.
Okay.
So I arrived in Cleveland. I was born and raised in Virginia. Ended up in Myrtle Beach because when I lived in Virginia when I was about 19 or so, things were getting pretty crazy as far as sort of one-horse town. I'm going to end up in jail. I got to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So a very good friend of mine, he lived in Myrtle Beach. He did the same. He moved to Myrtle Beach a year or two before he came back. And said, dude, just come to Myrtle Beach. Just get out of here before you die or end up in jail or whatever.
What do you mean, a one horse? I don't understand. Well, there's a lot of drugs going around there or something.
Yeah, it was
poor. Was it a poverty kind of thing? Or?
Actually, I shouldn't say it was a one-horse town. There's a whole bunch of horses in this town, but the town was owned by Jerry Falwell.
Oh, I see.
This is Lynchburg, Virginia. It's named Lynchburg, Virginia, and this televangelist owned, at that time, probably 70% of the town.
Really?
And there was nothing. There was no live venues. There was no scene. There wasn't even any underground bands. It was just anything that would happen would just be squashed immediately. So just I was playing and writing music. I had to get the fuck out of there. Right.
Because you were obviously influenced by what at that point you were listening to bands and you wanting to emulate your idols, right?
Yeah. Well, I've actually never wanted to emulate my idols.
No.
I always soaked it all in and wanted to do something else with it.
Right.
But yeah, when teenager in the 80s, I was listening to thrash, and then the thrash turned me on to punk rock.
Right.
And
same here.
So it was just there's nothing like that. That's not happening in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Right.
So my buddy who lives in Myrtle Beach said, "Come down here." There's none of that fucking shit going on in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina either. That place was even worse.
Right.
It was a tourist town, and everyone wanted to hear hair metal and you know,
Right.
whatever. I don't even remember what was popular at the time.
Right.
So I moved down there just to get out of Virginia.
Right.
And
It's not too big of a move. It's not too
no,
far,
it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
as far as distance.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
yeah.
So I moved down there, and just, I think I was like 20 years old. Got a job at a bar,
Okay.
and everyone thought I was like 25. I'm like, yeah, sure. But you know, spent probably 6 months down there, maybe not even. And I met this dude down there. I met this group of people who were into like metal, death metal, punk rock.
Yeah.
And one of them was Kyle Severn, who, I mean, went on to play drums in Incantation, and to this day still plays drums in Incantation.
Okay.
So I met him down there, and he was like fucking Liberty Spikes, and he's just like, fucking punk rock. Fuck you, you like metal.
Right,
And I'm like,
yeah.
no, it's we can come together.
Right.
Look at everything around us. This place is horrible.
Right.
So we got together, a couple other guys, and we wrote some songs. We're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
I think we got something here.
Nice.
So
What was this? What was it?
this was the early stage. I mean, it was Escalation Anger,
Okay.
but it wasn't called that at the time. It was
Right.
very early stage. We didn't have a name for it or
Right,
anything at that
right.
point. And what we would do is in Myrtle Beach, they had all these storage units.
Yeah.
You go in. Back then, there wasn't like key codes or any of that.
Yeah.
Maybe there was. I don't even remember. But we would go in to these storage facilities, and we would load the van up, and we would find one that was unlocked. Lift up the gate, go in, load all our gear in there, and we had an extension cord that we had made that was like 200-300 feet long.
Yeah.
And we would just run the extension cord till we found an outdoor outlet in the facility.
Yeah.
And then we would just play all fucking night long.
Right.
And then pack it all back up in the van, close it, and leave.
Right.
And because we didn't have any money to pay for storage spaces
Right.
or practice spots, so that's what we would do.
Right.
So yeah, we wrote like 4 or 5 songs down there, and realized, okay, there's nobody gives a shit about this stuff here.
Right.
So what we did is we decided, there was like 4 of us. We're like, okay, we're going to all move back to our hometowns and save up some money. And then we're going to figure out somewhere to move to, and we'll start playing music there. And, you know, in a place that is much more culturally diverse, so to speak.
So you were really driven. You guys were like, yeah, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do
fuck
this.
yeah, we were
Nice.
all about it.
And did
we were all about
L.A. and New York didn't?
Oh hell no,
No? Why
I
not?
mean, those places. It was too big. Like none of us had ever even been to any of those places at that point. I don't think.
Yeah.
So we did that, and I think each one of us saved up like $500 or something in like a couple months.
Yeah.
And while Kyle was up here in Northeast Ohio, he originally went to Brunswick High School. I don't think he finished, but he started at Brunswick High School.
Yeah.
Maybe did finish. I don't think he did though. And so he knew all these people, which turned out to be people in bands like Spud Monsters and Face Value and Blood of Christ, and all these bands in the early 90s were packing Flashes.
Right.
So he moved up here to Brunswick, stayed with his mom, and he's like, guys, there's something serious going on up here.
Yeah.
Let's come check it out, and we'll see what happens.
It was cool, man. It was a cool spot, and like you said, it was packed. They would pack. I would,
for sure.
I had my first anxiety attack at an environmental Hatrix show, whatever. I think because it was so packed.
Because it was so packed.
So packed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't move. You know, it was crazy, man.
Like, dude, we moved up here. It was like, I think there was 4 of us, and we moved up here. I know I had $500 in my pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know how much anyone else had.
Right.
And we moved up here, and it was in, I want to say it was like a December of '92.
Okay.
Like one of the most brutal winters ever.
Yeah.
And we were like, we found this house. We started renting. There was no heat, no nothing. We were all like sitting around a kerosene heater that we found, you know, just to keep warm. But we didn't give a fuck.
It's fun to hear that timeline because I was still in high school at the time, and that was right around the time that we were stealing.
But you know what? It had a basement.
Yeah.
And we would trash pick the fuck out of everywhere to get carpet and everything. The basement was good to go for playing, you know, practicing.
Yeah.
And that's what we started to do. And then Kyle reached out to his friends who were in all these bands, Spud Monsters and whatnot.
Right.
I said, hey, man, come check us out.
Yeah.
And because he had went to school with those dudes, they were like, okay, we'll come check you out. And they did. And they were like, holy shit, what the fuck are you guys doing? And we were like, we don't know. We're just trying to figure it out as we go. So that helped as far as getting gigs at Flashes and stuff.
Yeah.
That helped right away.
Sure. It's always, you got to know somebody. You know,
yeah,
whatever.
it's for anything.
Right. Yeah.
Getting in a job, anything.
Anything, yeah.
It's all who you know.
Right.
And I was lucky enough to be a part of that, and that's how, it's basically how and our first gig was not at, you know, Flasher or any of that. We played, I think it was called the Brooklyn Tavern or something.
Oh, is that right?
It was like, you know, a little dive bar, no PA, no stage or anything, which is, I still play shows like that and love it.
Right.
But, you know, I don't even know who we scammed to get into that deal. But when we did play that, all those dudes came to the show. Like the dudes from all those bands came to the show, and people were like, whoa, what is this? So then we started, you know, getting calls. I guess we got calls. Yeah, of course. There was no text or emails back then. Yeah. So we would get calls for to, you know, open up.
You had to ring Betty down at the
So we would get calls to start to open up for like some major acts at Flashes and whatnot. And that's
probably like Overkill and Testament and crap like that. I don't know.
I know the first one that we ever did at Flashes was like Propane.
Oh, nice.
I think it was Environmental Hazard. I think it was the Virgin Destroyers.
Okay.
And it might have been Hatrix. I'm picturing the flyer.
Yeah.
I don't remember the show at all.
No.
I'm just picturing the flyer because someone recently posted it on social media like maybe a year ago. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. No, you know, and there is a group. I think it's the Flashes Facebook group or something.
Oh yeah, I got blocked from that. I don't know.
Oh, is that right?
In fact, that flyer was what I posted. I just posted that flyer. I was like, oh, sweet memories, because I don't have them. I would like to experience them.
Right.
And I go on there and I posted that flyer.
Yeah.
I think it was that flyer. And then I couldn't post anymore. Like someone was like, no, you're done.
Really?
I never commented on a thing. I never posted anything else. I just posted that flyer and I got the block.
That's weird. That's strange to me because you would think whoever was the admin of that page would have liked that, you know?
You would think, but maybe that wasn't such a good show for them. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had a good time.
Maybe one of the guys in one of the bands stole that guy's girlfriend or something.
Who the fuck knows? But you know,
so the Escalation, because I remember seeing you guys and you looked cool as fuck too, man. You guys had the dreadlocks and like the coolest fucking tattoos,
and
man.
all the masks, and no, we were fucking scumbags, you know.
No, it was cool, man.
We couldn't afford, or I couldn't afford to dress myself, so whatever it was
right.
You know.
No, and then like, you know, there was obviously Peabody's and stuff like that, and that, did you get into that, like, because I remember, well, when Peabody's was down in the Flats.
Yeah.
Have you ever played that venue?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We I think Escalation Anger. We opened for Deicide.
Nice.
Which was just for whatever reason, that band Escalation Anger, we were able to bridge the gap between punk, hardcore, and death metal, and all our buddies were all the death metal bands.
Right.
Well, I mean, we had buddies in other, but for some reason that scene embraced us more so.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, we would get a call, and this is crazy because you mentioned Deftones before.
Yeah.
We actually opened for the Deftones.
Right. Nice.
At the Grog Shop. And I honestly don't remember it. I don't remember the show. I don't even remember the fact that we opened for the Deftones. But my friend sent me a flyer.
Yeah.
And it was Deftones, and I can't remember the other band, and we were the openers, Escalation Anger. And it was at the old Grog Shop. I was like, what? This happened? Well, I don't. Apparently it did, because I know we never canceled any shows.
Yeah.
Don't remember it.
Right.
And it was, and I contacted John at Grog Shop. I'm like, dude, do you guys have an archive or something, like, to prove this? Because I don't remember it. And they didn't, but he looked it up, and I guess the Deftones played in Cleveland like 8 times that year.
Oh yeah, no,
like
they were
on
crazy.
Like, they were like on Vans Warped Tour. They were on Ozfest,
right.
And this was just like a little one-off that they did at the Grog Shop. I don't remember if it was like sold out.
Right.
I don't remember anything about it, and I would have never remembered anything about it except someone sent me the flyer.
Yeah.
Wow. But we would play Escalation Anger. We would play with SNFU. You know, Canadian punk band, and then next week we play with Deicide.
Yeah.
So it was
very eclectic.
Yeah,
yeah.
And we played like the Euclid Tavern and Grog Shop quite a bit.
Yep. Yeah.
Because when I moved here, a lot of people, because we ended up living on the west side, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, yeah, don't go to the east side," you know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then, excuse me, the venues from the east side, like, well, Euclid Tavern and Grog Shop, would get in touch with us to play.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to play the east side, man.
Right.
Fuck you. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't grow up here. I don't. I don't know that. Right. I don't know the distinction or the difference of that.
It did seem like the west side was more of where the scene was happening, I guess. You know, just I think only because of flashes and Lakewood being the city that it is too.
Yeah.
You know, I think I don't know. But
yeah, I mean we played the Fantasy who knows how many times.
Right.
Excuse me, but yeah, people are like, why would you want to go play the east side? I'm like, because it's an awesome venue, and there's awesome people out there. I don't understand what your problem is with this west side, east side thing. And that was just something that people that grew up here had, and I didn't grow up here, so I didn't give a fuck.
No, I'm an east sider, so
I mean
I've lived
both,
but yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
It's definitely a thing.
It was like I mean, I think it stemmed from probably the 80s, maybe, because I mean I was here in the early 90s. And I think it stemmed from the 80s. I don't know the reasoning behind it.
Everybody, well, I think it's that, you know, everyone, you know, the tribal mentality, you know, everyone needs to pick a tribe. You know?
Of course. And I still kind of see that a little bit, but not nearly like it was.
Is this where we get into politics and start talking?
No, not at all. Fuck that. We're shutting it down as soon as it gets into that.
Yeah, there's no point in that. So okay, so then there was Escalation Anger, and then did that kind of fizzle out or something? And then or were you just like always doing 4 or 5? Because you're in 4 or 5 different bands right now.
No, actually, Escalation Anger. Well, we went through a bunch of lineup changes. In fact, from the original, when we put out a demo, by the time we were done, the only original members were myself and the guitar player Jeff Hine.
Okay.
And we were always switching out. Well, not always, but we had a few drummers.
Okay.
We had a couple bass players, and it got to the point where I felt like, well, I'm the only one that's doing anything.
Well, isn't that like a lot of bands, man?
Well,
there's the one guy that's really.
Well, yeah. And since then, all the bands I've been in since then, I'm like, I'm not going to be the guy who does everything, or I'm not the band leader. Fuck all that. That's bullshit.
Right.
And that's kind of how that turned out. And then I was just like, all right, guys, we're done. It's done.
Right.
And so I just, walked away from it. And I think, a few months after that, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was at a show on the east side. I think it was the Euclid Tavern.
Right.
And a couple dudes approached me and they're like, yeah, we got this thing going and we want to start getting a little more serious about it. And they gave me a cassette tape. Well, it happened to be, it was Will Scharf and Chris Smith.
Okay.
And they gave me a cassette tape, and I listened to it, and right away I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You guys need a bass player.
Oh, right.
Like, well, I guess I could figure that out, because I'd never played bass before.
Right.
And numerous heads and speakers blown. I've eventually figured it out somehow. But that was the beginning of Keelhaul.
Okay.
Great band, I want to say that was 97. Yeah. Or maybe when they approached me, it might have been 96. I'm not real sure.
I think it was like the early 2000s for sure is when
Yeah.
I was friends with, I don't know if you know Billy Schmidt, but
yeah.
He, I'd played in a couple projects with him, and he kind of like, I was like, wait, that's that guy from Escalation Anger, Yeah. This is like, and I'm a guy you never even know. You get to hear this. You know what I mean? I know what you're doing.
Right.
And we'd go see those shows, man, and it just amazing musicianship, I think, in Keelhaul. Just the songwriting, everything was just geared towards intensity, and it like we were talking earlier, and I brought up Karma to Burn. I can see some similarities with that a little bit, just that driving.
We played with them a few times over the years.
No, I'm not saying but yeah, it's just that awesome, just fucking rhythm.
It was basically 4 guys that never learned how to play their instruments.
And I wanted to ask you, like, did you just pick up guitar and just wing it?
I never had any lessons ever in my life. Mel Bay books for the chords.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
I think in the 80s I even got one of those. What the fuck was that dude's name? Doug Marks or something. He had like fucking hair out to here.
Yeah. And
he had a Randy Rhoads V, and it was like Metal Method. And then you get it, and you're like, oh, power chords. Okay.
Right.
I kind of already figured that out. But I mean, whatever. So that was, I purely did everything myself, and I'm by no means, people are always like, man, you're so talented. No, dude, there's no talent whatsoever.
Well, that's not true.
No, it's actually just building on things, like building on how to learn how to do things and fake things.
Well,
because dude, Keelhaul was like the shit that we did. The reason it was, people were just like, wow, that's so crazy, is because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We literally did not. I picked up the fucking bass, dude, and I'm like, all right, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
wait, everybody go out and like look up Keelhaul, listen to it, and then you're gonna tell this guy he's wrong.
Dude, I literally got a bass. Chris gave me. He had a bass, and he had a head and a cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I blew up the head and the cabinet. I had no fucking clue. And then I'm like, do I play with a pick? Do I play with my fingers? Luckily enough for me, when I was younger, I had an acoustic guitar as well as an electric, and I would always pluck around on the acoustic with my fingers.
Right.
Because, you know, that's what people did. The people, you're like, oh, wow, those dudes are using their fingers. Cool.
Right.
So I got used to doing that. So I ended up, tried to pick with the bass. I'm like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. I started using fingers. And then I'm just like, this sounds like shit. I don't like this tone of my fingers in this bass. I mean, you know, I love Steve Harris, but
yeah,
I can't sound like him. I'll never be as good as him.
Right.
The tone that he has. So I'm like, yo, wait, I'm going to take distortion pedal. And then boom. Oh, fuck. That was like the enlightenment there. Like, oh, dude, I don't even have to be good. I can just play bass through distortion, and it's fucking sweet.
Right.
And that's basically what I did.
Yeah.
And I did it for, I don't know, 20 years or
well,
whatever.
they say you fake it till you make it, right? You know.
Well, I don't know. I've never made
You're still faking it.
I'm still faking it. I don't even know the definition of making it.
Okay.
Is.
Yeah. I mean, I know I normally don't like, you know, but you know, because I think that's how, you know, I played in a band for a lot of time, you know, and I remember, you know, I wasn't classically trained, as they say, or whatever, you know, and I just kind of figured it out. Jeez, oh man, that sucks. My phone's going off. Damn. Crap, man, I'm so unprofessional here.
Ever heard of airplane mode, dude?
Yeah, right. So, no, and I think so. We would play, and yeah, I didn't know if I was. Everyone's like, "Oh, you guys are playing this odd time." I'm like, "Oh, am I?"
Right. I had no idea.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but we were committed. I mean, we were practicing like, you know, 5-6 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. You know what I mean? You know, just laying into it, and then you develop a you know, and I'm trying to relate myself to it because I'm sure you guys were practicing a lot.
Oh yeah.
And I think and I think you know,
there's a bond where you just know what. I always knew what the drummer was gonna do.
That's right.
Even though he didn't fucking know what he was gonna do.
Yeah. No, you guys are just you get lost in the zone and you guys just end up
and
all right. And you're hitting these weird changes that you didn't even know you were gonna do.
Right. And we also, back in the days of cassette tapes, we and payphones, we jumped in a van and toured all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
We sent out a bunch of cassette tapes to random people.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, this is cool. We'll book you. And then you get to the fucking town and you find a payphone and you call like, okay, where's it at? Where are we going? You know, back then. And sometimes like, hey, we're at this such and such. And they're like, oh, well, this dude's going to come up on a skateboard and he's going to jump in the van with you and then he'll show you where to go. We're like, yeah, fucking A, sweet. Right. And that's, and in doing that, when you're in a situations like that and you're in a van, you're traveling 3 to 6 to 10 hours a day, and you're going through all that, there's definitely a bond. And then, you know, you arrive and you're playing in a basement, so to speak.
Right.
And one day you're playing a fucking stage with a venue with a 500 cap, and then there's like 40 people there.
Right.
If you're lucky.
Sure.
And then next day you're in a basement and there's 10 people and the fucking basement show's 10 times sicker than the other show.
Of course.
You know, just all that stuff, you form a bond. And I always used to joke about Will, like his drumming. I was like, yeah, just throw a bunch of fucking iron pans and pots and pans in a industrial sized dryer and just hit go, and it's just like blah, 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 blah. And it's going nuts. But I could just sit there and I wouldn't even have to look at him. I know what the fuck he was doing. And that just comes from that bond that you form, you know, just being together all the time.
Yeah, and that's where I'd like to argue that is talent, because, you know, it's going through, you know, you're going through like there's a method there, you know, and you're working it out. You're constantly practicing. You seem like a very practiced person to me. I remember, you know, I mean, some people say they don't practice, but these are the same people that are probably playing shows like all the time. You know,
right?
That's practice in itself. You know, you're playing your instrument.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
And you know, but you know, I think that's what makes it unique, and I think that's what, you know, kind of, you know, this show's called Sub CLE. It's like subculture. It's not that popular culture stuff.
Right.
Like if you want to hear popular culture stuff, then learn by the book, be classically trained. You know what I mean? You know, but no, this is something different. You weren't taught, you weren't whatever. You figured it out together as a band, you know, and it created something unique. And I can sit here and tell you, like it. Like I always said, if I can make music that at least touches one person,
right,
I'm fine. And I think you've done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure. I'm at least one person right here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean,
you know, and it's, I think it's your attitude, like too. You know, it's like I ask, you know, I've asked a lot of people, come on here, and like you're like sure, and the people that are like Steve Eggs and, you know, Murph and the guys from Something Involving Monkey, and you know, just I don't want to leave anyone out, but everyone that's been here are the guys that are working hard, you know, at it. You know, it's like they're you know, there's so many flakes, and you know, like I've booked shows, you know, and it's like dealing with bands and musicians. I put together art shows, and you know, it's like there could be great artists and whatever, but they're like almost socially different a little bit, you know, and I kind of can put myself in that situation, you know, that same boat too. But it's like I said, I'm just really trying to say that there is a talent there. You know?
Well, okay, I'll give you that, okay. But it's not musical talent.
All right, I guess we can compromise. No, so okay, so go back into yeah, you were talking about Escalation Anger, and then so that kind of, and then you did the Keelhaul thing, and like what happened with that? Did you guys tour with that stuff, or?
Oh fuck yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, because you were talking about,
I mean,
you know,
I want to say, I don't know exactly, but we've played over 20 countries in
oh, nice.
World. Yeah. I mean, we went to fucking Russia. Like, it's, you know.
That's awesome.
We were one of the earlier.
Did somebody sponsor you, or?
No, we just fucking did
found
it.
The money.
And we had people that believed in us from Europe, and then like to go to Russia.
You guys are actually big in Europe, man.
Well,
everyone says that.
I don't think it's when Americans go to Japan, you're big in Japan because you're taller than everyone.
Oh, that's what it is.
Right. So we went to Russia. These dudes, these two guys brought us to Russia, and they were super stoked.
That had to have been cool. What year was that?
No,
like 2000-ish.
It's something where you're killing me.
I know.
Well, so I want to say 2010-ish actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Somewhere around there. They brought us to Russia, and they were huge fans of the band.
Nice.
But they also promoted huge concerts in Russia.
Right.
Like they would bring hip hop, like major hip hop artists and all that.
Right.
And they made a ton of money doing that. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they enjoyed was bringing bands like us to Russia.
That's cool.
And we were there for like 2-3 days. We did 2 shows there.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And it was like really quick.
Yeah.
We blinked and it was over.
Were
and
you
of
part
course,
of a label or something at this point?
Were we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I don't think the label had anything to do with it.
No.
Or, well, our European label had, they're the ones who made it happen.
Okay.
Because at that point we had a label in Europe, and we were on Hydra Head Records here in the States.
Okay.
And I think the European label had something to do with it, but
Okay.
it was amazing. It was a complete whirlwind, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we flew in, played a show. We're like literally rushed off to a train station. Had a 9-hour train ride.
Whoa.
And then, played the show, and then we were out of there.
So what was the show like? What was?
Both of them were amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a festival show. Was
oh
it?
no, we were, hate this word, headliners.
Oh, is that right?
And
there was
there was people there, and like
probably got a lot more people than the place you're from.
When
right?
we were like, I think when we were in Moscow, we walked off stage, and there was like this line of people like wanting to meet us, but we had to be whisked off.
Oh man,
to catch the train.
You guys were two rock stars, right?
I was like, I wanted to stay, and but it was just the guys were like, no, we have to leave now. We have to catch the train to go to St. Petersburg. And that's like a 9-hour train ride, and if we missed the train, it would have been a big thing.
That's cool, man.
And
I've never been to Russia. How
and
was
we
it?
were trying, like, because my friend, my partner in crime and Brain Tentacles, one of my partners in crime, Bruce, Bruce Lamont was with us, and he was like opening the show, and he was just doing a solo set, but we were in the train station. And he had his acoustic guitar with him and his saxophone. I was like, dude, how cool would it be to just go and start playing?
Nice.
So we walked over and we started getting ready to do that. And the guys were like, no. Like, what? Like, no, you will get arrested.
Really?
Like, or they were just scared. I don't know if we would technically get arrested. They were just scared. I mean, because there's guys with machine guns around and stuff.
Sure.
And they were like, you guys don't attract attention to yourself.
Really?
You're Americans.
Oh, so really? It's like that.
And I was like, man.
I always thought that was like a propaganda thing.
Like, have someone film us playing in the Moscow train station would be awesome. But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, they even freaked out because at one point Bruce walked away from all of us. And he was just like, I'm going to go get a beer.
Yeah.
And they kind of freaked that he walked away by himself.
Really?
Because if it would just bring attention. I think they were overly cautious, probably,
Well, they're overly cautious for a reason,
Yeah.
If it was like
and
no
we're
big
just,
deal.
We're just fucking dumb Americans. So we're like, yeah. You got Budweiser, Bush. No, I mean, no, not really, but...
So you said like 40 countries, man. That's crazy.
No.
What'd you say? 20?
Yeah.
Well, still 20. Hey, I like to exaggerate by double. so 20 countries. So I mean,
I think. Well, I could be wrong.
If I've been to 20.
I think I've personally played maybe 20 countries. I counted it once like 10 years ago. I was like, somewhere around 20. Whatever.
So okay,
but Keelhaul, like I've been to other places that I wasn't with Keelhaul. Like I did other countries with Ringworm.
Oh right.
So we did most of Europe. Keelhaul did, and we did Russia.
That's cool, man. Like I didn't know Keelhaul got out there that much. I thought you guys.
Yeah. Well, no one does.
Yeah. I just know that there's bands I respected in Cleveland. You guys were one of them for sure. And but I'm interested in because I like to travel a little bit. I worked for an airline for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well,
it makes it easy.
Yeah, I see you get out. It's cool.
I try, I try not to stay home too much.
Well,
I've been staying home a lot this past year. Though.
I'm too dumb to do it myself. I have to like do this whole band thing just to get around.
I think that would be cool.
Otherwise, I'd just be.
Yeah.
I would have stayed here.
But the thing is, when you're not doing the band thing, and I think this when I go to other towns, like if I'm in Paris or wherever, or Germany or something like that, I'm curious to find the local scene in like a rock club or something like that, or you know what I mean? Whereas you just automatically get to see that it's like a different thing. Like I get to see the same thing everybody, and I thought I already turned this off. But
actually, what if you're traveling in a rock band in Europe, at least, what you get to see is dance clubs that cater to rock bands. And
is that right?
Once it's dawn, like midnight, they're like, all right.
Right.
And you're still, and you're like trying to get your shit out of there. Like, oh my God, what the?
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously I'm exaggerating a little.
No, I know.
A very little bit.
Well, but no.
that's a big part of it over there.
No, I've been to enough places in Europe, and I noticed that like the bars are very like even back in the day, like way before here, like they'd have the videos on the screens and like all these lights, and it was like a dance club and whatever, and and it was just totally. I definitely get what you're saying.
The live bands are okay. Get off the stage, get your shit out. Now we turn into disco.
Okay, all righty. Yeah, because I would also ask, hey, is there any heavy metal bars around here, or whatever? And when you're in the touristy spots, you never find that. So I think, dude, I'm envious of you, like, because it's a different thing. Everybody's done the touristy thing. Not everyone's done the touring in a band thing. Right, you know what I mean?
No, it's it's like I enjoy some wine now and then, and I have numerous friends that are what I would call wine snobs, and I get to tell them, dude, I played in the village, or in not the village, in Bordeaux.
Oh, right, yeah,
and that's
right in France.
That's the Taj Mahal of French wine. That town.
It's actually my favorite wine too. But
and we played there, and it was one of the most amazing places because in the basement you go down there, and it's kind of like a lot of places when you're not playing the discos.
Yeah.
But there was this massive spread of just tons of food.
Yeah.
And there's people down there, and it was kind of in the open kitchen, but a massive table in an open kitchen, and these people were cooking food all day long because you're there,
right? And
there's jugs of wine on the table, and granted, it's probably the swilliest of swill shit from Bordeaux, France,
whatever
that they're giving us.
Right.
But how many of my wine snob friends can say they were hanging out in a basement drinking wine in Bordeaux out of a jug?
Right.
I'll take it.
No, yeah, for sure. No, and it was probably, it probably was no different than anything, you think about. I mean, they probably make a lot of money off of wine,
I mean, dude, driving to the venue, it was like country roads, and it's just surrounded by vineyards. Yeah. It was beautiful.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you're really getting something that's rotten.
I mean, I'm used to that.
No, so besides Europe, man, because I'm interested because I love traveling. So that's actually on my little outline here. Is tours, traveling, and country is actually some of the things we're actually following in line. I'm not even following this, and we're just actually doing it. So what other countries? Like, okay, so you've done what? China, Japan?
No, I've never been to Asia.
Okay,
I would love to. But just it never came about.
Okay, South America.
Done Australia. Did New Zealand.
Nice. Australia, nice.
Never been to South America. Never Asia or never South America.
I've never been to South America. I was in Asia for the first time last year. I went to Japan, and that was like my first time there. Yeah. And
I'd love to.
Well, your bass player actually gave me some advice, and I got some Tangatsu. It's basically just breaded pork, but it's delicious. It's like panko breaded pork. It's like schnitzel.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No. But yeah,
I know about that. I mean, I've been there where they have the schnitzel.
Nice. Okay, and so so you did like Europe.
Yeah, when you say 20 countries, I mean that's pretty much
Europe.
That's Europe there.
Yeah, right.
It's not a
Well, yeah. I mean, you're basically going through the states. I mean, I did a road trip through Europe, and I think I hit like 6 countries.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, you can drive from one side of Ohio to the other.
Yeah.
And in Europe, you could go through like 3 or 4 countries.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
But you know what I think is interesting though is each one of those countries has their own language, and it's like
for the most part, yeah.
It's like if Ohio and Akron had a completely different language.
They don't. I don't know.
But it's just weird to me, that it just could be like that,
Right.
But you figure like all that stuff was like, God, I think about this often actually. All that stuff back in the day, like they didn't have like mass transit or whatever, so you didn't really travel too far. So you did keep within the community.
Of course, it's much more tribal because if you're traipsing through someone's territory on some horses, they'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right. Like, we're just trying to get 3 countries over. And like, well, you gotta get through us and then 3 more countries.
Right? Yeah. It's interesting. So okay, God, hold on. We're at this point we're going to be done in 5 hours because we have a lot more bands to go through.
Well, I mean, some of those bands are like really quick.
Okay, so you did what happened with Keelhaul? What?
It ran its course, man.
Yeah,
it ran its course.
Yeah.
Everyone, it got to the point where we just done it for so long and for so little. It wasn't like we were. I mean, don't get me wrong. We paid some bills sometimes, like when we would go on tour, but
yeah.
I mean, it's so much effort. And then when you're with 3 other dudes for so long, cooped up in vans and traveling, and anyone that knows any of us in Keelhaul knows that band, the 4 people, were 4 completely different fucking personalities. And that's how that band worked. Because sometimes we were playing 4 different songs all at the same time, and then somehow it would just match up to be the same song.
Right.
It takes its toll. So we just it ran its course.
Okay.
And I always did other stuff as well while I was in Keelhaul, as did some of the other guys.
So what did you do? So what were you doing? So then what would you say?
I segued.
Thank you for the segue. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a segue, but
is it those things you stand up on and ride? Oh no.
Oh yeah, the guy who invented it was killed on one. That's
what?
That's like beautiful irony.
No, it's actually poetic. I think.
It is. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would be happy about that.
That's right. If you're gonna go any way, that's right.
I'm pretty sure, if you were able to speak to him, he would just totally be down with how he went out. I invented that. I became a multi-millionaire.
Right.
And you know what? I just maybe fell off a cliff on one. It's cool. I don't know what happened to him.
I don't even know what happened either. Yeah.
But,
they hit by a car or something. I don't know.
I hope not. I hope he just sailed off of a cliff. Into the wind.
Because the Segway sales were down, just, whatever. This is how I'm going down in history. So, and then, so Keelhaul, all right, sadly, Keelhaul, and then I remember I saw you in a bar one time, and I was like, man, Keelhaul was awesome.
What, you saw me in a bar?
Yeah. You've been known to go there occasionally, right? Funhouse, actually. I wanted to talk about Funhouse because it's a cool spot, and it's Cleveland and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Lakewood. Or is it Cleveland?
No, it's technically Cleveland.
Okay, yeah. That side of 117th is Cleveland, I think.
It's probably, I mean, that's probably the only reason it's existed as long as it has. I mean, talking even before that, when it was Hard Times.
That's right. And that Spitfire, it was Spitfire?
It was Spitfire, yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't it? Oh, Hard Times was first. Well, that's my earliest memory, I think.
Oh yeah, that was. I don't even know when that originated, but I know in the early mid '90s it was Hard Times,
right? And then it switched into a different. It would, for like a week out of the year, it would switch the Hewlett or something.
Oh no, it was Hard Times, and then the place was. Fuck. You got that. So many scumbags would come there, and there was lots of underage serving.
Oh, is there?
And stuff. But I don't know but then a car drove through it.
Oh, is that right?
And then it closed for like 5-6 years.
Oh, wow.
And then the current owner, Stosh, he bought it and he wanted to call it Hard Times, but the city wouldn't let him. Because of the reputation of the previous bar. So he called it Spitfire. And then
the city can do that? I thought we lived in a free country. What happened?
Well, you're the one getting political now. Come on. Let's not go there.
So then he changes it to Spitfire.
Yeah, he changes it to Spitfire. And then, he always had things going on, whether it was a half pipe in the bar,
right?
And then he had a stage there, and bands played there for many years.
No, wasn't the half pipe? Well, Now That's Class had or don't they? Still?
Oh yeah, Now That's Class. They still sometimes have skateboard ramps in there. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
Like, in my opinion, two of the best bars in Cleveland, but.
They're definitely the trashiest metal bars in Cleveland.
They're not even metal bars. They're just the trashiest bars.
Right, yeah.
Therein why I think they're the
I would
best
say more
ones.
punk rock. I shouldn't have said metal. I should have said punk rock, but yeah.
But that's why they're my favorite.
Yeah.
That's like home to me.
Yeah.
Although my home is nothing like that.
But
I can feel at home.
I wanted to
both
say
of those places.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to say, I saw you in there, and gosh, you know what? I actually lost my thought on that. Fuck. All right, well, whatever.
You were talking about.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about Keelhaul. No, I was talking about Keelhaul. I was like, man, dude, I thought Keelhaul was great, and whatever. And you're like, well, why didn't you? Speak up then or something, you know what I mean? It's like something like that,
So
and
I was
it's like
busting your balls.
Absolutely, and it's true. Like I was telling you earlier, I'm not like a fanatic with anything, but I kind of appreciate bands,
Yeah.
I've always appreciated your music. I'm sorry I didn't, purchase all the merch and, support you monetarily the way I should have, but, hey man, we're all struggling to get by.
Exactly.
But okay, so I'm trying to get past Keelhaul now. So and then, what were you doing? Because I think I'm not sure what you were doing. Like, because I knew the Escalation Anger,
sure,
yeah, right. And then the Keelhaul stuff, and then I don't know. Honestly, the next thing I remember is you walking into the Axioma recording bass, and
yeah. Oh, I throughout the Keelhaul years, I did numerous other things. Like, I did numerous tours with Ringworm.
Okay.
I never played on any of the records.
Okay.
But those guys were all my drinking buddies, and they would like, oh man, we need someone to play guitar. I'll do it.
Well, it seems like a lot of different people play guitar in Ringworm,
Oh God,
was it Blaze? I remember.
At one point, yeah. At one point when we were on tour, James, the singer, Human Furnace of Ringworm, was trying to gather up a list of every member that was in Ringworm.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
Well, because it's a lot of people that were in kind of notable bands in Cleveland, and they would kind of rotate through Ringworm. It seemed.
Yeah. You know, I toured. I went to Europe with those guys. I went to Australia, and they were my friends beforehand. So it was like, yeah, no brainer.
Yeah.
And I've played both guitar and bass in Ringworm
Right.
at different times. You know?
Right.
Like, a few years later, they needed someone to play bass, and I was like, oh fuck, I got some time. I'll do it. It's cool.
What was it?
Hang out with my buddies, drink lots of beer, and
yeah, why not?
like have fun traveling. I mean, why not? You know.
I think I saw. God, it was maybe 5-6 years ago at the Barbecue. I saw your band Brain Tentacles and Ringworm were both playing that show. I believe.
Wait a minute. No, those are different years. Brain Tentacles played one. I think Ringworm played the year before.
I've only been to one barbecue.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
So,
I don't.
I mean,
fuck no.
Could I be wrong?
I know. Brain Tentacles. When we played barbecue, we played at literally like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
But it's just like playing it that early in the morning is just not.
God, am I thinking of the right band? What would be another band that played from Cleveland that day? They played on the same stage like Clutch played. I remember that.
Well, I know Ringworm played there. I don't think any bands when we were there played that were from Cleveland.
No,
so it could have
there was
been
definitely one. I don't know. Well, whatever. Yeah, it's no, because I knew the bass player. What? Well, who was? Wait. So the Human Furnace. Let's see, this is, and then Dwid, who is.
Well, DeWitt is Integrity. He's a singer for Integrity.
No, it wasn't Integrity. I'm fairly certain it was Ringworm that played that same show that you guys played. But my memory is off sometimes.
Mine is always off, dude.
But yeah, you guys played in that little tent or whatever.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, because I was there with Gary Kane. He was doing a thing for some merch thing or whatever.
Oh yeah. I think I remember that. I mean, I remember playing that.
Yeah.
Because we had Raven, a saxophone player for Murphy's Law, came up and played with us.
Oh, nice.
Because we always have a different guest in every town we play in.
Yeah.
But when I was doing Keelhaul, I did numerous other things.
Yeah.
During that time, let's see, I did Abdullah.
That's another one. Yeah.
Which Abdullah, they put out 2 amazing records, and it was just a 4-piece.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was working in a place called the Blind Lemon.
Right.
I was doing a door there, and which
was a lot of things.
Yeah.
Since then, you know.
Yeah. It's the Foundry now.
Right. Yeah.
And they played a show, and I watched them. I was like, man, they really need another guitar player.
Yeah.
And then I came upon it to myself to think that I should be that next guitar player. So the bass player, Ed Stevens, a longtime friend of mine, the best, probably hands down the best musician in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know,
bass player,
gave
right?
him, I gave him a couple shots and beers. Like, hey, dude, you guys need a guitar player.
Yeah.
Another guitar player. And
because he played in Ringworm too.
He does. He does now. Yeah. And
that's why I know he played that show, because he was there at that same barbecue.
not when Brain Tentacles.
All right. I'll give it up.
Because trust me, I would remember, because it would have been a rough day. Okay. If Ringworm was there and Brain Tentacles was there, it would have been a lot of.
I want to say, while we're bringing that up, Ed Stevens, bass player, goatee, whatever. Yeah. He's a jazz guy. He's
an everything guy.
Yeah, he would
play
come
classical. He can play jazz, whatever you want.
I worked at a place called the Boarding House, probably back in 98 maybe, or something like that, and he was dating the server I worked with, Lara. And I'm throwing out all these names, whatever. Whatever, it's all true. And I remember I that's how I first remember meeting him, is she was dating him, and then I'd see him in Ringworm and all these other bands like throughout the years and stuff like that.
Yeah. I got him a little tipsy, and I said, dude, you guys really need another guitar player. Yeah. I think I'm the guy. This is brought up in his head. Yeah. You should talk to the other guys.
Yeah,
like, okay, yeah. And somehow it worked. I don't know, for whatever reason, but I played guitar with Abdullah for quite a few years, and then we just like did self-release. Like Jeff, the singer of that band, such a fucking talented motherfucker, man. He was so talented. He still is. I haven't talked to him in
It's
a
crazy
while.
that you weaseled your non-talentless ass into these talented bands.
Dude,
right?
that's what I do. and I mean, we did like, I want to say like 2 or 3 records.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but it was just purely, we would just record them and wouldn't even bother dealing with any record labels or anything. You just record them just to record them.
Sure.
Because
that's what I've always done. Yeah.
For a lot, like he was over that whole record label bullshit. So
right. Yeah.
It was just.
Now you don't even need one, right?
It was just something that it is inside of him, and he wrote most of the material.
Right.
And it was amazing.
That's awesome.
It was definitely. And then from that I joined this band, the Not So Good Old Boys, which is Southern rock with some country involved.
What, are you playing, guitar or bass?
No, I was playing bass.
Okay.
And I actually had to learn how to play bass.
Right, not just like a bunch of distortion.
Couldn't hide behind distortion and like I couldn't. I actually, and the guys in that band taught me so much.
Yeah.
Like musically.
Sweet.
Like how to actually properly play a bass guitar, number one. And the songwriting was amazing. And to this day, I think that band, whether I was involved or not, those songs, and Rodney Rose was the guy who wrote 95% of, actually most of those songs.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Those songs, to me, they still, if I put them on, which I really haven't in a while, but those are songs that will stand the test of time like 20 years from now.
Nice.
And still be valid. Like, it's
just
just amazing.
That. Yeah.
He's an amazing songwriter.
Is it available?
It's not, as far as I know, it's not available on streaming, but you can go to a bar and it's on Touch Tunes.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah. Because we didn't have a label either.
Right. Somebody just,
But I mean, we got to play with some really cool, like we played with Whitey Morgan. We played with Shooter Jennings.
Oh, nice.
Like Scott Byram. We played with Dick Dale. Like
Hank Williams and all?
Well, I mean, Hank Williams.
The third.
Oh. He always opens for himself because he like plays for 4 freaking hours. You know?
Right.
But if we could have, we would have.
Yeah.
But no, it was that was a.
But it's that rockabilly really awesome. Kind of stuff. It sounds like it should.
It was fully Southern rock country.
Yeah.
And it was very, very well done. So I was doing Abdullah, and this might have all been at the same time. Then I got a call from Popson to play guitar in State of Conviction, which is literally like 1 gig a year. I think I did it for 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay.
But that was amazing as well.
That's cool.
That was fun.
I always thought that was one of his better projects. I thought.
Yeah, I mean it was great. It was like, and the bass player Craig Martini, one of the most amazing bass players ever. Yeah. Like plays with Paul Gilbert and Joe Satriani and
really?
You know, like I'm just like, holy shit! How do I scam my way into these like?
Oh, I think I know.
Situations?
It's because you're talented.
I'm talented at faking talent. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I'm going to tell that next time, you know, a girl, you know, I'm going to let a girl know that, you know, I'm not really good in bed, but I can fake being good in bed really well.
And then she's going to be like, I can as well.
Yeah. I mean,
and
but at
I'm
that
pretty
point,
sure, I'm pretty sure she's got you.
I think if you fake it so well that you convince people you're good, you're probably good
At faking it.
I said I'd give it up, and I didn't. All right. Because we're getting through this now. We're getting through all these bands.
So then there's another project I did, or band I did for a couple of years, but that you didn't get.
Okay.
Called Mofos.
Okay. Yeah, I did not. See, I got my information from the Metal Archives,
Well,
the Encyclopedia Metalocalypus or whatever the fuck it is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so you guys got to step up your game, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, so Mofos was this guy Gary, who, once again, probably, well, I'd say there's 2 or 3 guitar players that just blew my mind that I ever even got to play with, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
And this was it was a 3-piece instrumental. It was almost like a rockabilly sort of on steroids, very surf. Not rockabilly. What am I saying? It's more of a surf punk rock thing.
Okay.
Hints of Jesus lizards in the place, but when I mentioned that to him, he's like, "Oh, I don't know about Jesus." I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's all good." He went on to he's playing in Per Ubu, and now he plays for.
That's a classic Cleveland band right there.
But it's killing me that I don't the legendary Shack Shakers. Okay. He's the guitar player for them.
Okay, nice.
And that's right up his alley. He's a guitar teacher. That's what he does for a living.
Right.
Just amazingly fucking talented. And I want to say he got in touch with me about playing bass, asked if I knew a drummer. So I got Will from Keelhaul to play drums, and we did probably like a handful or more of shows, and we recorded 3 songs at Suma Studios before Paul passed away.
Okay.
And they're lost, the recording session. I mean, I have them, but they're not mixed.
Oh.
And so who knows what that
you know enough people that
happen.
You can do something, yeah.
You know, who knows that anything will ever happen, but I can at least listen to them and, you know, be like, wow, we did that. That's cool.
What format is it on? Is it real or no? Just
digital? It was, but yeah. I just have it. I just have MP3s, so
I get you.
Can't really do much with that.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, who knows?
Nice.
So, yeah, did that. And all this shit. This is all kind of going on at the same time or throughout the years. I don't recall the dates or, but then
you're gonna. Oh, I just want to say, because I'm gonna. We had a 6-pack, and this is gonna be the 3rd one. I'm gonna take the last one. He's got one right there. So I don't feel that bad.
No, I don't. I have this one.
But Make America Juicy Again, because where is this from?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The beer I went to get was not there, and that was like 2 bins or the next the next refrigerator over, and California. I had that before and was like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
No, that's good. No, these juicy IPAs are pretty good.
I can handle those over the super dry IPAs. I'm not into.
Yeah, the ones that really like. Oh yeah, and then he got the koozie.
Yeah.
What is that?
Grill 'em all.
What is that?
Cleveland guys that actually went to California, started a food truck called Grill 'em All.
Okay.
And then there was that TV show, great food truck race, some food truck race TV show.
Okay.
First season, those dudes won it, and so then they
nice.
opened a restaurant in California, and I've been there, and it's amazing.
What's it say on the other side of this?
What does it say? Death to false burgers.
Oh, nice. So it's a burger place?
Yeah, it's a
nice.
burger place.
Sweet.
And and it's metal themed.
Oh, nice. Kind of like, have you been to Chicago Kuma's Corner?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They probably have a burger named after one of your bands.
They had a Brain Tentacles burger.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was fucking amazing. I went there 2 days in a row and ate it both times.
Oh,
yeah.
what was on there?
I don't remember. So we did a show at the Metro.
Yeah.
It was Power Mad, Brain Tentacles, and Mastodon.
Oh, wow, nice.
And they did us. I think that was they did the burger of the month or something, or of the week, or I don't know. But so if you have the burger, your band and the burger, you get to eat for free. Eat the burger for free.
Sweet.
So of course we went there 2 days in a row because why the fuck wouldn't you?
I love the menu. It says, "No, bro, we won't turn down the music and put on the game," or something like that.
Yeah.
And dude, it's a bizarre place because it's a great bar and whatever. It's cool, but there's like posh like people in there, and they're just jamming like metal music. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I think they have multiple locations now.
Okay,
but it used to be the original location, which is still there, and I couldn't tell you where it is, but you would go there and there'd be a line down the street.
Oh yeah,
and it's crazy. But you would go in and you'd be sitting there and you look over, and there's like, nice little family of 4 sitting there
listening to Deicide
and like the sickest metal's being played loud, and people are like, drinking at the bar, and they're just casually eating their metal burgers.
It is definitely, the closest thing we have.
I don't know if that could happen in Cleveland.
LBM.
Yeah, but
it's
I mean,
close.
But and I'm talking like LBM, or I'm sorry, not LBM. Kuma's has been around for a good, at least 10, 12, maybe even 15 years. I don't recall. I'm horrible with time as in names. But
God, I was there at least 12 years ago.
Right.
So yeah.
So and the marketing or however they got established, it was just regular people going there.
Right.
And then everyone who worked there were total tattooed metal scumbags. It was great.
Yeah, I think there was only one location when I went.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Because I think they even opened some in other cities. Like I think Indianapolis has one. I'm not sure where else, but
they always have like the Slayer burger, the Pantera burger, or whatever. Whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's interesting. So, well, since Brain Tentacles was on that, what's up with Brain Tentacles? Because when I saw you guys at the barbecue, I think that was like the first time I don't know if it was the first time I heard about it. I may have heard about it prior to that, but that was the first time seeing you guys live.
So, to call you out.
Yeah.
What was the instrumentation of the band when you saw us?
It was a 3-piece.
Okay.
It was a 3-piece. You guys were in a smaller tent, like right in the middle of the venue. There were like the stages on either end, and then there was that. Well,
the reason I'm saying is because, Brain Tentacles is a whole different fucking animal. It's saxophone, bass, guitar, and drums. And that's it.
Right. Now, if you're asking me the people, I don't know.
No. I was. If you would have told me sax, bass, and drums, I'd been like, yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, that's definitely it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, so I can definitely say Ringworm did not play that.
Okay. All right.
For sure. Because they played the year before.
Okay.
And I almost know that for sure.
Okay.
But anyways, Brain Tentacles. Saxophone. The saxophone basically takes the place sonically. Keeps it. It's the guitar,
right? It's the mid range, whatever. Yeah.
And I mean that came about basically. So
because you guys got some pretty good press on that stuff too, right?
Yeah. It was. I mean, we did some cool touring.
Yeah.
So
It's like
Dave,
it's a super band.
Well, whatever.
Super group or whatever they call that, right?
I guess that's what
I've heard it
call
called that.
Okay.
I've heard it called that. But
yeah, super. Well, I'm not. I don't want to get canceled, so I'm not going to say any words or. That band came about. Dave the drummer, he used to play in Melt Banana.
Oh, no shit.
He was the live drummer for Melt Banana for many years when they would tour.
I never got it, but I have a lot of friends that like are crazy about Melt Banana. Yeah.
And so Melt Banana was going on a tour, and him and Bruce were in contact, and they're like, man, let's just make up something and just to go on tour. And then Dave worked out some kind of, like, he was going to do a blog and somebody was going to sponsor it. So they were actually going to get some money to go on tour. I don't recall. So they did the Melt Banana tour, and every night they would have someone come up and play, whether it be bass player, guitar player, whatever.
Right.
So they were here in Cleveland, and they were like, hey, and I want to say they were at the Garage Shop. I want to say I was gonna do sound for them.
Okay.
But they were like, bring your bass, and you can use maybe I use Melt Banana's bass rig or something. I don't remember. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to play? They're like, don't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the time came. And it was like right before they went on. And Bruce was like, all right, this is the riff.
Yeah.
Show me the riff real quick. Okay. He's like, just do whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went on stage and we played, and it was a great time. And, they finished the tour. And I guess at some point while they were on a long drive, they're like, man, we need a bass guitar in this band. Yeah, well, let's get Aaron. Because previously, I've known both of them probably about the same amount of time, which is like 20 years.
Right.
Because Keelhaul used to play with Yakuza, which was Bruce's band from the 90s, and Burnt by the Sun, which was Dave's band from the 90s.
Okay.
And we were all friends. So they texted me and said, hey, you want to put bass to this stuff?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Nice.
Because I'm always about a challenge.
Sure, that's what it's all about.
Well, that's another talent disguise. Is I'm up for a challenge.
Sure.
Even though I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I can approach it just like, all right, we'll see what happens.
Right.
And that's what I did, and we ended up recording a record. Came out on Relapse, and we did
nice.
We did some tours. We even like played a few shows with Guar, which was like. We accepted the shows with Guar, fully hoping that their audience would absolutely hate us.
Oh, right.
And we were stoked on it. And they didn't.
No.
They didn't hate us. Yeah. And although that was kind of disappointing, it was also kind of cool that they embraced us.
It's so disappointing that someone likes us.
Well, no. The thing is the people that didn't like us just walked to the back of the venue and weren't vocal about it at all.
Right? Yeah. You want to inflict a reaction.
That was quite a few people.
Yeah.
But then at some point when you're playing, there's a saxophone going nuts, and you look out and there's like 2 circle pits, and you're like,
right,
what the fuck? How is this happening?
Right.
So, and it was cool when we did, we've done numerous shows. We've been on hiatus for a while because Dave also plays in drums in Municipal Waste.
Oh,
and they've been really busy. Pandemic and stuff. We've just been doing other stuff. So
nice.
Eventually I would imagine we'll do something again.
Yeah.
Because I love those dudes, and it's fun to be around them, make music with them.
Yeah, nice. It just seems like a lot of your stuff is open-ended, because I was looking, and it it says you're like on my.
Oh, you're on your Metallium encyclopedia.
Right, yeah. It says your current bands are like, there's like six, and it lists like Escalation Anger is a current band.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
hey, I mean,
have you guys been doing
never
anything?
say never. No, we haven't. But I mean,
Keelhaul is a current band.
Never say never. That's all I can say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're open ended, right?
Right.
But the ones that said your past bands are like Abdullah, Holy Ghost. Can you tell me anything about Holy Ghost?
Holy Ghost was that was actually a band that James from Ringworm did.
Okay.
And they did a bunch of shows, and then I don't know, for whatever reason they broke up, and then James and I had been writing material together for quite a while. And he's just like, I don't want to let this name go. And apparently, as far as I know, the rest of the guys that were in that band were like, yeah, use the name, whatever. We don't care.
Okay.
So I recorded with him a couple songs.
Yeah.
Maybe even one. I don't even remember. One song, a couple songs.
Right.
And then Death Wish put it out, which is... Jake's from Converge, singer from Converge. That's his label. He put it out, and that was fucking forever ago. But that's all that ever came about that. There was never a live show or anything.
Okay.
It's just basically my name on a record. I think it was one, maybe two songs that were recorded.
Okay. So Ringworm comes up as a past band.
Yeah, I mean, I only did live stuff with them.
State of Conviction is a past
tours.
band.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would play with. It's all open ended for me. You know,
well, we better get to these.
I'm too dumb to quit, man. I am too fucking dumb to quit.
And then We Live by Night. It says it's a past band too. I don't know.
No, that's odd because I mean that's a more current band,
right?
I mean,
I thought that was odd too.
We haven't done anything since like before the pandemic, but that's just it's pandemic shit. The reason we haven't done anything.
Okay, and that's another thing I wanted to get into was what you've been doing with the pandemic. But I have one more band, and I know it's a current one. It's a Perdition sect.
Oh yeah, well that's because of the pandemic.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So
that band started March 2nd or 3rd week of March.
right when the shutdown happened.
Well, the shit. I mean, we knew that. So basically, I was at a show at Now That's Class in Cleveland.
Okay.
And it was the band The Obsessed. I was there. There's maybe 30, 40 people. I think it was a Monday, so we'll let it slide. And the band fucking slayed, and I was super stoked on seeing it. Go to the bar, and Matt Sorg from Ringworm and Shed the Skin, and I've known since when he was in Blood of Christ in the Flash's days.
Right.
I've known him forever.
Yeah.
And I've traveled the world with him and drank many, many different things and done crazy shit with him. None of which I remember, but he does.
Yeah.
He's got amazing memory. But anyways, walk up to the bar, get some beers, and sit down. Like, man, that was awesome. And we both knew our employment was going to be ending the next week because of the shutdown.
Right.
We're just like, what the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I want to do like a Discharge style band. Let's just do it. We'll write a couple songs, throw it up on Bandcamp or something.
Right.
If anything, we'll get a 7-inch single. It'd be cool. And we're gonna. And I said, I just want to fucking scream about all the bullshit that's going on in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I'll totally do it. So whatever, just blew by it and continued to bullshit. Probably talking about Kiss or something, because or who knows. And then I woke up the next day. I'm like, man, I wonder if he's serious. So I texted him. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Like, all right. So I texted Kyle, from the drummer from the original Escalation Anger days, who plays in Incantation and Shed the Skin.
Okay.
And he lives in Columbus. So I texted him, I'm like, hey, we want to do this. Would you be interested?
Yeah.
He's like, hell yeah. And then I texted this guy, Mike Lair, who actually is a current guitar player of Ringworm, but he was a bass player in Ringworm 10 years ago when I was playing guitar in Ringworm.
Okay.
And it was just fucking confusing as hell, but
Yeah.
excuse me. So somehow they fucking agreed that, yeah, this is a good idea. So the next 10 days, we were like, had our little phone apps, and we were just with click track on a phone app, and we wrote like 10 songs.
Wow.
Just out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
We sent them to Kyle, and he has a studio in his basement. That's where Incantation records everything.
Oh, nice.
So he put drums to it. We're like, holy shit, this is actually something. So I'm like, fuck. I started writing lyrics to it, and Lair wrote some lyrics, and we booked time at I'm getting ahead of myself. So we went to Kyle's. We went to Columbus. Matt and I went to Columbus, and we did the drum tracks.
Okay.
And this is all during the shutdown and everything.
Sure.
And Lair wasn't there. We were trying to keep it as
sure, everyone's trying to socially distance.
As distant as possible as you can do, and still fucking try to make some music that is relevant for exactly the time that we're living in.
Right.
So it was the three of us. He got the drum tracks down. Then I think we went down there maybe like 3-4 weeks later, and Matt and I did the guitars.
Yeah.
Then Lair came in. We were up here. He came in and did the bass.
Right.
And then I went down there, and Lair and I did the vocals. And then we gave it to Noah at Mercenary. Noah Brainchild.
I think Noah's name comes up on every single one of my podcasts.
Oh, I'm sure. And
he's going to be here one day. He's got to be.
Yeah, get him here.
Yeah.
And he sorted out all the mess that we had given him.
Yeah.
And mixed it, and we gave it to a couple people. I don't even know if we gave it to a couple people. Thomas from Seeing Red heard it and was like, let's work with this. And then out of the blue, we got the Knife Fight Media doing digital, and then all of a sudden we have like management, like worldwide management, which that's the name of it. It's just not like it's,
I think of Worldwide Pants, the David Letterman thing.
Yeah. Whatever. But I mean, they have a pretty hefty roster with like Morbid Angel and Nile and a bunch of mostly death metal bands, but for whatever reason, man, these guys were way into it, and literally it wasn't even an idea until like this pandemic started, and then it all came together, and the record just came out last weekend.
Oh, nice.
And
is it available on like Spotify and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. If I was smart, I'd rattle off the fucking the links, but
all of your major
I'm stupid.
local, whatever.
Yeah, Apple Music, Spotify, I would imagine Amazon.
Sure.
I don't even know. I haven't checked Pandora. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Once you put it out there, it's like it's on things you don't even know it's on.
Yeah. So it was really awesome to actually think up a concept of something and then have it out this exact same year,
so
being the year that this happened, and pretty much most of all the content on that record is related to what was and or is going on.
That's
for the most part.
That's awesome, because I think I remember when this was first going on in like March, April. I may have like posted a thing on Facebook, and it said, I can't wait to hear all the creative music or something that comes out of this, because I mean, oppression breeds creativity. You know, that's the famous thing. And it's kind of nice to hear that something actually well, there's been a lot of stuff actually.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think a lot of those videos where people are just doing collaborations,
just doing cover songs and shit.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's awesome.
It's totally cool. That's something you would have never seen.
But I would imagine, especially with a lot of the talented people that are involved in that.
Yeah.
That's going to breed new projects and new ideas, you know, and that's amazing.
So it's actually, I don't want to say a blessing in disguise, but I mean, something like that, just because it's something outside of the norm, it kind of like took everything and just steered it a completely different way.
Yeah.
You know, and outside of the norm, you know, I don't think anything's going to be the way it was, but it's just going to be a new way.
Yeah, it'll never be the same.
You know, yeah.
I mean, I just know from my experience, the live music industry will never be the same.
Why do you say that?
Never be the same. Because it's just, it's not. There's going to be so many rules in place.
Yeah, but we've had pandemics before, you know, and stuff like that, and they eventually got back to whatever, you know. But
yeah, but I mean, who's to say? I mean, come on, like, you know, the UK's got a new strain, and now they're complete. Like, as of today, they're not. No one's allowed to travel to or from.
Right.
I just look at it practically like. I mean, just all of and because of, say, lawsuits and insurance purposes and all that, nothing will ever be the same like it was.
Right.
I mean, you remember 15 years ago when people were stage diving and just completely all over each other. I can't see that ever happening again.
Yeah, I mean, It's hard to see right now, but I mean, I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, people forget easily. I think people are forgetting right now, honestly. You know.
Well,
but
I see that every day.
No, and it is a different time, man. It is kind of weird that I didn't even plan that. That's my number 7 thing. Times of quarantine. We didn't even. You brought it up.
Hey, you know what?
So and then it's like
I was taking a peek while you were cooking wings. No,
yeah, and that's like right. But we did skip over something though, man. Well, no, we actually hit on it. We're the favorite Cleveland spots, man. You said it though.
Oh yeah.
But what do you? So yeah, let's go into this too, man. And there's another band I want to talk about. Soon, you know, but as far as like food and stuff like it, we were talking upstairs. You say you cook and stuff like that, but if you were to like go out to eat, like, what do you? I don't know. What do you? I mean, you live in Lakewood, so there's a lot of choices in Lakewood.
Well, I'm
jealous.
I actually live in Cleveland, but I'm very close to Lakewood.
Okay.
I could tell you, like, well, I don't go out to eat much, especially in the last year.
Well, yeah, nobody does, yeah.
But so like I'll have friends or had friends that come into town, and like, dude, one, because it's very close to where I live, but everyone, La Plaza is like, that's where everyone from out of town. Well, first they want to go to Sokolowski's. That's not going to ever happen again.
I know. That's a shame. Okay. That's good that you brought that up, because that is a shame.
It is.
You know, and when they redid that whole area, I was like, this is perfect for Sokolowski's. That's like great business. They're right there, you know? And then now it's this. No.
I mean, I get it, though.
They said they were going to quit like in a year or two anyway.
Right.
So,
well, as far as I know, the younger people in the family don't want to continue it because that's not their thing.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
And they could easily farm it out to someone else.
Right.
Or they could just cash the fuck in on that property.
Oh, and then it's
and
a
then the
condo
whole
unit.
family is set.
It's
So
gonna
there
be
you go.
it's gonna be a condo
Well,
unit.
yeah, but the amount of money they're gonna get
Right.
for that. I mean, I highly doubt they'll ever make that much money being that restaurant.
No, and it was only open for lunch
know?
and Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
I mean, it's
whatever.
amazing. Like people, I know people from out of town. They would come in, try to get in Cleveland as early as possible so they could go there to
Yeah.
eat.
It's like
you
going
know?
to Columbus and going to Schmidt's or something like that. But
Yeah,
I think Sogolasi's was a lot cooler than Schmidt's. But
yeah. Well, for sure. I mean, I got a guy playing piano.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
You know.
no,
But yeah, I mean, honestly,
but La Plaza tacos, I mean, hands down, are the best tacos.
I mean, I'm down with. I don't even know if I've ever had their tacos.
Oh, really?
I usually go with like tortas or
Okay.
like burritos.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, in the grocery store, their fucking pork rinds are the bomb.
Nice.
And well, obviously, I'm not vegan, so.
All right. Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, seriously, I can't. It's been so long since I've gone out to eat at a nice
I guess I'm asking
restaurant,
pre-COVID, whatever, but
I mean, I went to My Mind's Eye the other day, and I kind of took the long way, drove down Detroit the whole way.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, there's all these places that I've never heard of that are open.
Right.
Or actually, well, some of them weren't even open.
Right.
No, I don't know what their hours are.
They're there, but they're not
I'm
open.
like,
Right.
where the
yeah.
fuck did that place come?
Right.
How long has it been there? I'm not up on that.
But
See?
Lakewood is man, there are so many. I mean, you can stumble to every bar.
Right.
I mean, it really is. It's a unique place, I think.
It is.
It's reminiscent
It
of like a suburb of like Chicago or like a neighborhood of Chicago or something like that.
Yeah.
Up north side of whatever.
Right.
And it's there's so much going on. There's a revolving door of a lot of different things. The only reason I asked is because I call this sub CLE and I try to.
Oh
it,
yeah.
Cleveland based. But I think we talked about a lot of things Cleveland. So you have this Perdition sect that's
Yes.
out, and then we didn't talk about Axioma at all.
You didn't bring it up. I just been. I mean, Axioma's actually been quite busy. Quite busy.
Yeah. I am fond because Cougar's one of my good friends. you
Yeah.
know, obviously, and John Vincent I think is probably one of the best drummers around.
Amazing.
And then
See, I weaseled my way in again, dude.
I know. And then you have Justin. Yeah, I actually asked Justin to come. Yeah, he never responded to me because I want to talk about art with him. I would love to, because he's a great
Justin
artist.
is an amazing artist.
Yeah.
And he also runs that Dark Art and Craft,
Right.
which is an amazing art site.
Yeah.
Like you can go on there and buy amazing prints for like very reasonably priced.
Right. No, and he's a great guy. Like incredible artist. Him and Gary Kane, I think, is an amazing artist.
Gary's great as well.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty good, and then I met Gary Kane and I'm like, this guy's special, man. Well, he's got that. He's so focused at times, when all over the place in a lot of ways.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I love his artwork. I love Justin's artwork. I mean, this is Justin right here, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah.
Like Justin does mostly all the flyers. He does the record covers.
Yeah.
And the layouts.
Yeah.
But sometimes with the shirts, we'll get other folks in on that.
Okay.
Just to change it up a bit,
Right.
Because Justin has a very distinct style.
Yeah,
which is
those
amazing.
Faces, those demonic faces and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, you can look at it and be like, "Yeah, that's Justin."
Yeah.
And it's funny because when you put a flyer up on social media and stuff, all the time someone's like, "Wow, who did that?"
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, he's in the band.
Right. Yeah,
but I'm not sure if he did that design or not. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, I thought he did, but I'm not sure. I've been wrong. I guess I'll bring up that barbecue again.
I mean, we could look it up.
Is that possible? Can we do that? It was because I have the lanyard upstairs. Because I had it was awesome. I got to meet Pepper Keenan too that year. Corrosion of Conformity played.
Yeah, see, they didn't play the time we played.
Dude, how did I see
the
you
time?
then?
The time we played, it was all right. I want to say it was Lamb of God, Hatebreed, and it was I Hate God with Randy from Lamb of God singing.
Right.
Dillinger Escape Plan, and Dillinger, their singer, missed his flight or his flight got delayed or something.
Okay.
So Bruce from Brain Tentacles went up and did like some vocals and some saxophone, and they had fans come up. So that was complete chaos.
I must be out of my mind because I don't remember any of those bands.
Yeah, that was when we were there. I remember because it was fucking like, it was like literally 100 degrees. It was like 98, 100 degrees.
Yeah,
I do remember because we had beer koozies, and we were the only band that day that were selling koozies, and we completely sold out of everything, like all of them.
Yeah,
I'm like, see, guys, always have koozies available.
So Clutch didn't play when you played?
Nope.
All right. God, it is crazy because I will. I'll go back and like I'll see video or something, and I'll remember something differently, and then go back and see it. I'm like, wait, it wasn't like that at all. So I don't know where.
Life.
But you definitely played in that tent though.
Yeah, we did.
But I was only at one barbecue, and
you might. I don't know. I wasn't at that one, so maybe Ringworm played in that tent. So maybe that's where you had
Ringworm played on the main, the second main stage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a mystery. We'll figure it out.
Let me guess. Did Midnight play? Possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either.
What's Midnight?
I'm just thinking Cleveland band.
Oh. No, it was definitely Ringworm because it was God, who was playing? I remember. Oh man. I don't want to go into it because I don't want to mess up anyone's name or nothing. But no, it was. I definitely saw a lot of like people from Cleveland there. It was. It was interesting, just going there and.
Yeah, there were folks from Cleveland there when we played. I was surprised.
Yeah, and then there was like.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because it's not like you get to see anything like that here.
No, I was, dude, I really liked, it really was upsetting when Odorous passed away. And
oh, yeah. We were actually, Brain Tentacles was in the studio when we found out about that.
Yeah.
And our drummer Dave lives in Richmond, so he knew those guys, or he knows those guys, and knew Dave. And I knew Dave just from working, doing shows throughout the years. I probably worked like at least 6 or 7 Guar shows over the years.
Right.
And we were in the studio and recorded this one song. I can't even remember what it's fucking called. But I normally, for a lot of projects, I'll just write lyrics in the studio.
Yeah.
And I wrote lyrics. It was basically for Dave,
right.
And we don't print the lyrics for that band, so probably no one will ever catch it. But the two people who care to have listened to this long,
right?
might be able to catch it.
No, I was just about to. I wonder if we can look up the barbecue. I'm not letting it go.
I mean, you will look it up. You'll prove yourself wrong for sure.
You know what? So, no, I do want to say. The camera's on me. With the whole internet thing, I was like, yeah, I can like look things up and prove myself right all the time. Well, more often than not, I'm proving myself wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
Which is actually a good thing. It's humbling,
Well, you need another dude here, like a engineer type guy that can look that shit up right away as you're talking about it.
Right.
And be like, oh no, you're wrong, dude.
So it's what were this is like a Reddit thing, I don't know. What were the lineups for every barbecue?
Oh, so there you go.
All right, so 2013 was Guar, Corrosion Conformity, Municipal Waste, Pig Destroyer, Battlecross, Cannibal Corpse, Wilson, War Beast, The Vulture, X-Cops.
Yeah, if Ringworm, you probably want to look at 2016, maybe 17.
Okay, let's go.
I want to say
Lamb of God, Against Me, American Nightmare, I Hate God, Lagwagon,
that was us.
August Burn
Brain
Red,
Tentacles,
Murphy's Law, Occultist, Brain Tentacles, Eat the Turnbuckle, Mobile Death Camp, I do remember that, Sawyer Family, The Death of Rock and Roll, Dillinger Escape Plan, and Ramming Speed. So yeah, there is no Ringworm on.
So check.
Ringworm was the year before.
Year before, yeah.
So it was Guard, Down, Goat Whore.
Well, Down would explain.
This was it.
Down would explain Pepper Keenan.
Yes, that's where I saw. Yeah, it wasn't Corrosion. It was Pepper. So it was. This is the one I saw. It was 2015.
Yeah.
Wow. Why do I remember you guys playing there? Cancer Bats, Ghoul, The Dickies, Dead Earth Politics.
There was video that was put all on social media of us playing there.
Maybe I'm mixing the two.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'm mixing the two. MC Chris, Ringworm played. See, yeah, Ringworm played that. Mutoid Man. This is the one I was at for sure. Stonecutters, Gritter, Troglodyte. Yeah, this is definitely the one I was at. You are right. I was wrong. That's the first time I was ever wrong. I'm
not going to tell you I told you so, but
I mean, there's got to be a first time for everything.
Of course.
Oh man. All right. Well, going into next year, what do you guys? So, what are you working on? Stuff for? You said you have a bunch of songs recorded with, or written for Axioma.
Yeah, we're about 3/4 of the way, probably finished songs that we've written. I want to say, yeah, because our songs are kind of long, so we got about 6-7 songs.
Nice. And you guys are all collaborating.
We have 4 or 5 pretty solid ideas for other songs. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's like next on the list for me.
Okay.
As far as concentrating on things, I'm lucky if it all falls into place at different times.
Right.
Somehow it does. It's maybe that's the way of the universe.
Right.
Who the fuck knows? But it works out. So yeah, that's my next. Hopefully get that done and possibly recorded by spring, I would hope.
And you're going to record the same place you recorded the Crown. What was it?
Crown, yeah.
Crown, yeah.
We'll record at Dave's because we all think he hit it out of the park with that record.
I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, I thought it sounded great.
Sonically, it was just perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the first record I've ever done where I was like, wow, I have no criticisms whatsoever on any of the production.
No, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of you, Cougar, John Vincent, Justin. I think it's
Yeah,
that's me as a super group, to use that term.
It's I was lucky enough to stumble into that in your basement, actually.
It was in my basement. I was trying not to go there. I don't like to talk about myself too much, you know. But
I don't even know how the fuck I ended up doing that now.
I wanted to, you know, because I remember, you know, I was with Cougar and Gary was talking about doing something with it, you know, and then they were talking to you, and you were like, yeah, and it was like, you know, I might be exaggerating because apparently we know that I'm wrong from at least once in my life.
Yes, we do know that. It's been proven clearly.
I've only been talking about it the whole time, you know. But no, and then they asked you. I want to say it was like a week later, man. You came down, and you know, because Cougar came to me. He was by himself.
Right.
You know, he had a bunch of songs written, and then he's like, well, do you mind if putting these, and then it just
snowballed, basically.
Snowballed, really, like I've never seen anything like that, honestly. and then you came down and filled in the last piece, and it was just like, I was just like, you nailed it. Like, what did you do? Just sit there and just all week just play to them songs? I don't know.
I didn't really play them at all. I just listened to them a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And that's what I found over the years, and able to bring something to the table. You just have to. You just listen. Listen.
Right.
So when you do pick up the instrument, you already know. You know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know everything about it, so you don't even necessarily.
But you know the notes to play and everything.
It's just a reaction. I mean, I think I sat down and learned the basic roots and root notes and where it was going.
Right.
But I didn't have a set like plan of, okay, this is what this is going to be. This.
Right.
I just listened to it over and over and over again. So then when I sit down to actually record it, I have all these different options in my head of what I can do.
Right.
And then, and the beauty of being that, like, you can punch something in or whatever, because I had never recorded like that ever.
Right.
I just sat down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and get as far as I could. And like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do next. So, print that, keep that, and then let's go to the next part, and we'll see what the fuck I come up with.
Yeah.
And it was cool because I had never done anything like that before.
Dude,
and then, like, I don't know, when we started to do shows, I had to go back and actually learn all the shit that I did because I had no fucking clue, because it was all just spontaneous, and it was amazing. I love doing that.
Yeah, no, it was cool because, you know, I've recorded, you know, quite a few people, and it's just, you know, it's not common for somebody to just come down and nail out tracks. You know what I mean? You know,
well, I mean, he gave me the tracks like, I want to say like a week and a half, 2 weeks before.
That's what I'm saying.
So I just listen.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do is just open your ears and just listen.
Right. Just make sure you know the song.
And then everything else will, as long. I mean, I've been playing these instruments for 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
And like I said before, there's no talent there. That was all built upon, you know.
Right.
So you have all the experience that you built upon.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just figure it out as you go. In that instance, you know.
No, it was definitely cool. I'm looking forward to hearing some new stuff from that too, man. So that's the only new thing you're working on though, is the Axioma thing.
As far as like concrete.
Yeah,
working on.
You just got the Perdition sect going. That's out.
That's brand new. I mean, that's
is that a one-time deal?
No, we're already talking about the next record.
Okay.
We just did a live thing at Noah's.
Okay.
And currently discussing with management how that's gonna be put out, because we just wanted to do it as like, hey, you know, it's like a release party. We only played a 15-minute set. It was like 5 or 6 songs. The songs were like 2-3 minutes long. And the management are like, hold on, this is content that is worth something.
Oh,
really? We should use it.
You have management that's like that, huh?
Yeah, it's weird, but I see what they're saying. It's
right.
Like, okay, because I mean, you gotta think about things differently nowadays. So
yeah,
I mean, the music industry, even before the pandemic, completely got turned upside down and got thrown into the fucking ringer, and then got spit out and then got thrown back. It's just like it's constantly fucking changing, and I just want to write fucking songs and play songs.
Yep.
I don't want to keep up with who the fuck is on fucking Twitter and or Spotify or any of that shit. I don't give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like having a nice fucking piece of vinyl in my hand.
Sure.
I put a needle on. That's cool, but nobody gives a fuck about. I mean, they do more so now than they did 15 years ago. But I'm old. Get off my lawn, man.
Now, the new way I think is cool because, like, well, you have the management thing to work out, but it's kind of nice, like, for a guy like me, you know, I don't have any kind of management. I can write a song and just put it out there, and, you know, it's that easy. You couldn't do that back in the day.
Dude, I never, I always did that up until about literally, like, a few hours ago. There's been a whole bunch of emails going back and forth, and I'm not knocking it because it's just something I'm not used to.
No,
you know?
yeah.
It's always been DIY. Do whatever the fuck we want when we want. But there's also that's the reason why some of the projects I've been involved with just kind of fizzled out because there wasn't someone who had a different vision and knew what to do.
Right.
Like say, hey guys, chill out here. Check this out. Do it this way. And that was always a fucking problem.
Well, that's the thing, you know, like art, you know, you can even say like famous artists. Like it's like Dali wouldn't have been popular without the business mind of his wife. You know, Van Gogh wouldn't have been popular without the business mind of his brother. You know what I mean? Right. It's like you be the artist, I'll do the business. You know what I mean, kind of thing. You know, so
yeah, but Van Gogh, I mean, that was long after he was gone for the most part.
Right, but his brother, his brother did like profit off of that art.
Of course, his brother's like, give me the money.
Right, yeah.
He would have sold his fucking ear if he could have.
Do you have a CD player?
Do I have a CD player? I have one in my truck, actually.
Okay. Do you have this CD?
Wait a minute. Is that a Schnauzer CD?
That is a Schnauzer
Fuck
CD.
Yeah.
I got a few of these from Steve Eggs.
I don't know if I have that, and
so
I will gladly
he wanted
take
me to give them away.
Fuck yeah, dude.
There you go, man.
I don't know that I have this. In my defense, I have not. All my CDs are in milk crates. I haven't sold off any of my CDs, and I have no desire to.
Yeah. But
they're all in milk crates, and not stored away, but they're. You know, I got shit sitting on them, so I don't listen to CDs. But I will get in my truck right now, and I will put this in. Thank you, Steve Eggs.
Yeah.
Love you, dude.
Dude, that dude's awesome, man.
I mean, fucking Escalation Anger did a split with Schnauzer.
I think I have that split upstairs.
Well, it was the last previous century.
Yeah.
I want to guess maybe 94, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there.
Right, yeah. No, I remember Kanye coming around to over at Rock and Roll City Studios, and Kanye coming around and giving away 7 inches, you know.
It's awesome. I mean, fucking Jim Kanye was the most amazing. Like that dude, when I moved here, that dude made me feel more at home here. And was so happy that I came here.
Yeah.
He's like, why the fuck did you come to Cleveland? I'm like, I don't know, man. I just came here and playing bands. He's like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm so happy you're here. And I was just like, wow, dude.
That's awesome.
That's like, I can't even explain how amazing Jim Kanye was.
No, well, he's been mentioned quite a few times here too. And always with a lot of love, you know. I mean,
of course.
Yeah, he was such a dick with the Steelers and the fucking all that shit. You
well,
know
I mean, come on, look.
You know, but it was like all tongue in cheek, you know, kind of fun. You know, dude, that dude he had the heart of gold, man. It's amazing, and he was drug free, everything. You know?
I think he smoked cigarettes for a while, which
did
was
he?
odd. I think I want to say I saw him, you know, but yeah, drug free, alcohol free, complete fucking maniac.
Yeah.
And I know some other amazing people in Cleveland, legendary people that were the same way, like just alcohol free, drug free, and just completely insane. Like when it came to music,
it's like a Zappa thing, right? Yeah, Frank Zappa too.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie, the new one? It's just called Zappa.
No, it's
a documentary. I think it came out like 2 weeks ago. It's fucking amazing.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, for sure. That would definitely be something I'm interested in. Yeah, no, man, it's fucking great stuff, man, dude. But I think we hit the 2 hour mark, man.
Oh Jesus, really? God. If anyone's still here, you have a sad life.
Somebody's suffering through this.
You have a sad life if you're still sitting here watching this.
No, but dude,
cheers to you.
I think this is a good spot to end. I think, dude, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dude, no, seriously, I was looking forward to this. The first time we had to cancel because you had a leak in your, something in your house or something.
Yeah, fucking water damage in the ceiling of my basement.
You know,
like,
that's
what
living in Cleveland,
dude.
It's living in Cleveland. You know, that's how it goes.
And I still have to deal with some of the residual of that, but it was an easier. It could be worse.
Everything.
I mean,
could be.
You ever seen Poltergeist? It could be worse.
It could be. You could lose Carol Ann through the TV.
Owning a house in Cleveland, it could always be worse. So, no, it was an easy fix, and I just now have to patch up the ceiling. So.
Nice. Well, again, thank you for stopping down, dude. And
thanks for the wings.
Hopefully this isn't going to be the last time. I would say that I don't want to repeat any guests just yet, but I think it's coming soon. Especially if it's somebody interesting. But no, always been a big fan, man. And
right on. Thank you.
Yeah, Aaron from Keelhaul, Axioma, Escalation Anger, Perdition, Sect, Not So Good Old Boys, Abdullah, Holy Ghost, Ringworm, State of Conviction, and We Live by Night, and I'm sure a few others, and I'm sure that's not going to be the end of it. So, all right.
Cheers, fuckers.
Sub CLE, we're out.